Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Roselyne Kabata. Saseni, for those people who have been joining me through and through, welcome. For those who are new, today I'm having a different twist. It's been a while since I posted a video and I'm sorry I've not been consistent, but we are back. So normally on Instagram, a lot of people do a lot of sister tags. On YouTube, I've seen a lot of sister tags, and I've decided to do one on my channel with my sister. Najua Msupu. Yeah. Yes. Anaitwa Roselyne Kabata, and there's a twist to it. I decided to do something different because she's quite resourceful, as you're going to find out in this video. I don't just have an ordinary sister. So Roselyne Kabata will do her own introduction in terms of what she does and why she's in this video. But personally, I want to thank her because she's going to be sharing quite a lot in terms of her law background. And I hope you guys are ready to educate yourself and be enlightened and ask as many questions as you can in the comment section. So yes, karibuni.
So hi guys, welcome to my channel.
Welcome to my channel.
My name is Roselyne Kabata. I am an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. I am currently the Program Assistant to the National Council on the Administration of Justice, Special Taskforce on Children Matters. So I specialize in child justice and I work with the NCAJ. And yes, I have a background in legislative drafting, so I love or enjoy drafting laws, policies, regulations, all those good things. I don't practice in court, but I have a law degree, so I have, the knowledge that she needs or you need. And I'm glad to be part of this channel and to give information and to educate someone or help someone to access justice. Yep.
Umesikia hizo title zote. Try me in the streets. Try me. Call my sister. Try me. So, as I was telling you earlier, before we started this video, and it's just going to be like a flat out conversation. Purely, I'll be honest, what inspired me to do this video was just the whole swarm of conversations that have been happening on social media, particularly about the Babu Owino case. And I know every time people say that they shiver, but it is what it is. And I think it's a conversation that must be had. But why I want to do this video is because I wanted to take an angle to it. When I went through most of the pages that were covering the stories, I read through so many comments of civilians who had a big issue with our judicial system. Like they have a big issue with the whole family of you guys, sorry to say. And a lot of people had questions on who is justice or who is the judiciary for? Is it for civilians? Is it just for the rich? And other people were worried about, like for example, John Mushiri did a very interesting clip where he said we must learn to stand for something as Kenyans. And he asked a very good rhetorical question, and he said, when will you ever learn to do something to change from, we need to move a step from being angry. We need to do something. But me as Milan, what can I really do to impact anything when it comes to such issues of prejudice in the system or people just feeling like the system is flawed? So my first question is, what is justice? What is this justice? People keep saying justice, but what is it and who is it made for?
First of all, I'd like to say it's unfortunate that incident happened, and I'm not going to comment much on it, but I'm going to comment on exactly what you've asked me. What is justice? What is the justice system? Who are involved? And first of all, justice is many things to different people. So for me, justice could be punitive.
Okay.
Punitive meaning that I want someone to be punished. Punished in terms of going to jail.
English tafadhali Roselyne Kabata. Sababu hapa punitive watu viewers hawajui punitive kusema nini.
Punitive ni penalty too.
Okay. Punitive.
So they just want
kalamu. Punitive is
they just want to make sure that person is punished.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what punitive means.
Okay.
So in terms of going to jail or being punished in some way, kulikuwa na corporal punishment kitambo but ilitolewa. Going to jail, okay, kulikuwa na death sentence, but right now it's not death sentence, it's life imprisonment.
And things like kitambo, the hanging,
exactly. So many people in the past used to think that that's justice. You know, if you killed my son, then I want to see you killed, and that meant justice for them. So justice means different things. So another type of justice could be restorative justice. Restorative justice is maybe someone stole something from you. They stole, let's say, 5,000 from you, and to restore you back to your initial point. So I had 5,000 shillings, you stole 5,000 shillings from me, so give me back my 5,000 shillings so that I can feel that I've been restored to my place. Or someone burnt your house, and restorative justice to you means that I want another house. So that could be justice to someone else. Another aspect of justice that someone understands, like, if you do that for me, that will be justice for me.
But on that point of restorative justice, there's one time I was watching a series. But there's one time I was watching How to Get Away with Murder. In one of the episodes, they were trying to test out the restorative justice angle. And one of the things that was so important in that trial was an apology. It was not so much, it was a murder case. So I can't restore back life, but it's like they were saying, if you can sit down with the family of the person and give your side of the story and show remorse and tell them sorry, then that's also justice to some people.
Educated. So yes, exactly, that could also be restorative justice, and that's what we're trying to encourage right now. Restorative justice, it's amazing because the person who committed the crime and the person who is the person who was aggrieved, the person who suffered, they both benefit. They both benefit because huyu atapatiwa maybe a punishment, maybe aende muongee, you know, there's a mediation kind of setting. We talk about it, and then you're restored back to your state, and you've already talked about it, and you've already restored that relationship as well. So that is restorative justice for some people, which many people opt for.
So then, again, when you use the word opt, that's the whole thing. And I remember I was just asking myself before this video, who gets to decide what? If I have been wronged, does the law tell me what sort of justice I should seek? Or am I the one to tell someone? For example, we've seen cases even in the States of somebody murdering somebody's son, and somebody coming and saying, I don't need them arrested, I just need him to be sorry and never do that again. So in Kenya, is it me to choose that I want restorative justice? I want, what else did you say?
There's punitive, restorative, and then there's retributive. Retributive justice is when you just want someone to be punished so that you can, with no rehabilitation for them.
You just want them to suffer.
Yes, you want them to suffer. So that's retributive. It makes you feel good that that person is being punished, and they're not maybe it's not benefiting you, but you just want them to be punished. So that's retribution for you.
So who gets to choose for us?
So the justice system is made up of different people. So there's the judiciary. There's the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, there's the Probation and Aftercare Services, there's the Department of Children's Services, and I know I've mentioned that because I work with children. There's the Kenya Prison Service, there's the National Police Service. I hope I haven't missed out on anything, but there's the state actors and there's the non-state actors. And the community is also part of the justice system. So when you're arrested, the person comes from the community. So the community is the first, it's the first actor in the justice system because they're the ones who bring the accused persons or the victims. That's where they come from, the community. Then the police is the second tier. So the police is the body that's mandated to arrest, and that's where people report. Then after that, the police is supposed to make investigation. So that's where the Directorate of Criminal Investigations comes in. They work together as the Kenya police, the National Police Service, but there's two departments.
Okay.
So there's one that investigates. So after investigations, that goes to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, which is mandated to prosecute the case.
Huo ni DPP.
Huo ni
Wamezoea
DPP.
Twitter kusema DPP na wakiuliza meaning hawajui. DPP.
So
Director of
Public Prosecutions. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's the DPP.
Okay.
And then after that, so the DPP now brings the matter to court. If it's obviously it's a criminal case, so they bring it to court. When they come to court, who do they find? Their lawyers. There's the judge. There's probation officers. So, and then now when they bring the case, they say, okay, there's this file. This is the accused person. So there's the plea taking. At first, so you say if you want to, if you're asked, are you guilty or not? The charge is read, and then you asked, are you guilty of this crime or not guilty? Then you plead not guilty or guilty. Most times, most people plead not guilty, but there are instances for obvious reasons. For obvious reasons. But you can plead guilty, and this is something that people don't know. You can plead guilty to a case so that it doesn't delay. It's not a bad thing. Just say if you know you did it, so that you don't waste the court's time, you don't waste the prosecutor's time, you don't waste the investigator's time. Just say you're guilty, and then get your punishment at that time. So maybe it's a fine, maybe it's an imprisonment. But the DPP could also approach you and tell you there's a plea agreement that we can enter into. Plea bargaining, that's it's called plea bargaining, and I'm sure so many people have watched Suits. And you're like, oh, take the plea deal. That's what they call it. Take the plea deal.
When you get like stuff like immunity.
Exactly. Or a lesser sentence, I'll give you this, I know you're guilty, but we can make the situation better for you. So plead guilty, and then we'll give you a lesser sentence, or maybe I'll give you a plea deal, you'll be the witness, and then we can go through this case, testify against this person.
Snitch like 69. But for me, what makes, I think why most Kenyans are so disappointed is either there's been a mistake in between our systems. Civic education has not been done in this country for the longest time. Another thing that that I raise every time is the money issue. Just people assuming that for you to get justice in this country, you have to have money. So like the way you're a lawyer, now people think that now I'm a step ahead, but I am not. But exactly, but they assume if you're not rich by the case yako, that's why people will say I've been in court for 10 years. My judge died, was replaced. So what takes so long, and what makes it look like every case we see in the papers is of a prominent person, and it's never about our Jiko who is just suffering because her husband battered her or her kids were taken away from her. So what's that about? Why are you so far away from the common mwananchi? And why is it assumed that you are far away?
Okay, I know that there are issues in our justice system. We cannot, I will not sit here and say that we are perfect. The justice system is amazing. We have all these things. No. The justice system, we came up with the constitution in 2010. Before that, the judiciary was not an independent body. It used to have a lot of influence from the executive. So from 2010 to now, that's a short time. Yes, it's 10 years, but it's a short time for democracy to even have systems in place to make sure that everything is okay. Corruption has been one of the main issues for every arm of the government. Corruption is an issue.
It's the jigger of the nation.
It's a jigger of the nation. So that has been, I think the Chief Justice, both Chief Justices, Willie Mutunga and the current Chief Justice, they have tried to make sure that the judiciary system is free from corruption. That doesn't say it's perfect. There are flaws as well. And I know the Office of the Chief Justice made this, it's called the Sustaining Judiciary Transformation Blueprint. And one of the things and one of the core issues that they wanted to address is backlog of cases. Because most Kenyans argue and say that, I have a court, it's been there for 10 years, it hasn't been cleared, because there are so many issues underlying. And that's why we argue that there should be automated services. Like, people just come, you record your witness statement, record verbally. They use a voice recorder, which the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions is now using. You do that, and then the person who comes in
just has to listen.
Yeah, you just listen and you continue. But sometimes the person who sits in your case has to have a retrial.
Okay.
So that causes a delay. But I know most Kenyans don't have lawyers. Lawyers are very important. I know people may think that, lawyers are expensive, but to be honest, just approach a lawyer and tell them, I have this case, can you help me? At least you've made a step for yourself to ask for help.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a lawyer, how do you know about the justice system? One, you're not educated. Venye tumesema, you went to school, no one told you about the justice system. You had these courts, there's the judiciary, that's what you hear in the news, but you don't understand what the justice system is.
Yeah.
But a lawyer has been educated and skilled in this field, so they'll help you, and they'll maybe sensitize you on your options as an accused person or a victim, because I know also victims complain that their cases have taken so long, not only accused persons. So having a lawyer is very important. It's very important. I can't emphasize this further.
Is there anything that the justice system offers for such less fortunate or other organizations, like the way people know FIDA is there for women, and there are certain things that we need to be told, and I wonder why there are no billboards or things like that to tell people, like, in case of this thing, you can reach this organization which can give you a lawyer at a subsidized price, or actually offset your whole bill.
I know there's one, it's called Kituo cha Sheria. So there you get free legal aid. I don't know how long it takes for you to, apply for it and then get an advocate, go to court. I don't know how long it takes, but there's that one. So if you have that, you just approach Kituo cha Sheria. I know it's online, I know their contacts are there. If you just call someone from there, they will help you. For advocates, I know that there's that issue of payment, because even when you go to a doctor, lazima ulipe. So don't blame lawyers, because that's their profession, that's what they do. It's the same thing as doctors. If you want to be consulted, if you have a problem with your body, you have to go to a doctor to ask them what is wrong with me, and you have to pay for consultation. You actually pay for consultation before you get
True.
So it's the same thing as lawyers. I know people see lawyers as villains, but that's just that's our job, to help you. It's the same thing as doctors. When you think of a lawyer, think of a doctor, because you have a problem, you need it solved, and you're going to consult. So don't feel bad if a lawyer tells you, I'm going to charge you for this.
Because it's a service rendered.
It's a service,
So you can't
a service, But at the same time, there are also lawyers who give pro bono services. Pro bono service, that's what we call it. Free legal services. So, and I know there's so many legal aid weeks. There's also the National Legal Aid Service, and I know they might be online. I don't know if they're online, but they might be online. They can help as well to get you a paralegal. Paralegals are also very important in the justice system, because they're trained in law. They're not lawyers, but they're trained in law, and they can advise you on what to do in your options. And I think their services they're less expensive, because advocates, we have, it's called the advocates remuneration order. We can't charge below a certain amount by law, and if you're caught doing that, you can actually be taken to the disciplinary committee. So that's why lawyers are, people say, expensive. It's just that's a fee.
I think for me the biggest thing is, you see that part you're saying about, like, Kituo cha Sheria. I wish there was more awareness of such funds, because the problem is that I am poor, I am struggling, I have 4 children, I do not have that much income. For me, I'm balancing off zero, and I don't have that much income to get justice. However, I would want it, but it's just that if we would empower our communities with such information, and that's why sometimes I feel angry, because sometimes I wonder, where do all these budgets go? You know, when we talk about the judiciary and it has a budget and whatever, and the whole of the government, I feel it would be good for us to allocate such things instead of marketing things that do not actually matter. For me, it would be so good to see such things marketed and such organizations marketed. The same way FIDA, there's a point FIDA was very vocal, and people are like, yeah, you mean as a woman, there's somebody there for me. And there's a feeling that comes with feeling like, oh, you mean even if I'm not rich and somebody did me wrong, I could actually go to somebody who can actually offer me help, you know. And I feel just that feeling of people on social media ranting, and I think that's why even people go and get justice for themselves, like mob justice. They're like, tukimwachilia ashikwe na polisi, we all know how that's going to go. They're going to bribe. Corruption again all goes back to corruption. If you steal from me and you go to the cops and you know the cop, I'm never going to get justice, you know. So those are some of the things that I ask myself. How are we going to, what's the plan to change the narrative and actually start? It might not, let me tell you, it might take 10 years, as you're saying, it has been 10 years, it might take another 10, but how do we as civilians take a step, and which step are we going to be advised to take to change the whole narrative, and for us not to be those people who say, hey, lawyers are for the rich. You know, even right now, if I told somebody, hey, just spoke to my lawyer. What?
Which law? Akucharge anything.
Ni huyo wa pro bono. But just associating yourself with a lawyer or saying you are in court is like you're making it in life. And that's the whole thing that needs to change.
When you learn about something, sometimes you feel like
it's general knowledge.
It's general knowledge. But when you listen to people, like the normal Mwananchi, as you say, the Wanjiko, if you listen to them, you'll understand what they know and what they don't know. So I think that's the first step for practitioners to identify what the public knows and what they don't know, and their needs. It's like a needs assessment.
Exactly.
And then when you do that, you can provide that whatever it's called, legal aid, information sharing, knowledge sharing, whatever you want to call it. So I think that's the first step, identifying what people don't know.
True.
Because sometimes we might, like me as a lawyer, sometimes I might be like, oh, you know, the judiciary is different. You know, the ODPP is not the judiciary. The probation is not judiciary. Like,
it's different.
It's different. So I think that understanding what people don't know, and I think that general knowledge is very important for people to understand.
True.
So civic education is very important. I always regard so highly civic education, and I always want to be part of it, because that's one thing that impacts people, and they get information they don't know. Like, I remember there's one time we went to Kilifi, and people were listening to us so keenly, and I was like, oh,
they were sponges, they were taking it in.
And they sat there, and there was no lunch or anything, but they sat there because they wanted to listen. And that's when it hit me, you know what, people don't know this thing,
and they have a hunger for it.
They don't have a joy. We think they know, but they don't know.
True.
So I think that's the first step. Civic education is very important. And then the next thing I think is also the justice actors identifying the gaps. But that's why the NCAJ was created by the previous Chief Justice. It's called the National Council on the Administration of Justice. This is where all the agencies sit together and talk about what are the gaps. Because it was identified at that time that a case might be delaying, but it's because the file has not been taken to court. So then maybe the accused person or the victim is like, "Hey, kesi yangu imeka." But maybe even the prosecutor has never received that file, or maybe they have received it, but the investigating officer has not finished the report. And through the CUCs, through NCAJ, we've seen that there has been a change. There has been a change because so many officers are now receptive to either correction or, like, you're supposed to be doing this and you're not doing this.
There's more accountability now.
It improves accountability in the system.
Tunawashingi kwa koti tunaona mtu akisema bond of the same assurance. bail of the double assurance. And it's like, what does that mean? Does that money go into the system? Does that money go to the person who's been offended? Does that money... I know it sounds stupid, but maybe nitauliza because I
understand.
You know?
I understand.
Yeah.
So this money doesn't go to the person.
Okay.
So that's a misconception. If you pay anything in court,
let me tell you, I'll speak a bit of Kikuyu. Some women are like, I'll tell 1 million. Your family iko na 1 million. Their assurance, they assume that if that offender was asked for 1.5 million,
bail,
it went to...
No. Bail is what you're asked for as security, so that you can guarantee that you will go to court when you're called upon.
Okay.
That's just it. And
if you go back to the court, is it paid back?
No.
It goes.
Yes. So cash bill. If it's the police, maybe they told you, to a cash bill, because the police can tell you to pay a cash bill. See, bribe, by the way, when you ask for a cash bill.
Do we know the difference, guys? Do we know the difference?
The problem is, do you follow up for it to be returned to you?
By who?
So that's the problem. So a cash bill means that it will be given to you. It's just a security.
Guys, kama ushalipa cash bill uende kwa hiyo police station urudishe hiyo pesa.
It's condition. So you pay a cash bill. It's a condition. So you just pay a cash bill so that you go, so that when you're called upon you can come back. So when you fulfill your obligation, it's supposed to be returned to you.
What? Me, I'm done.
That's just it. Like bail.
So, are you telling me it's easier for me to be arrested, for example, on the bypass, and instead of giving a bribe as usual, so in terms of like, instead of giving you 2 G's, let me go to the police station, pay cash bill, appear wherever I was supposed to appear.
Yes.
And then somebody's going to pay me back my money.
Yeah, and then you're given your money back. You're even supposed to get a receipt. Do you get a receipt when you go pay your cash bill? Do you get a receipt? Because you don't know what you're paying. If you're being told this is cash bill, there's a receipt for cash bill. Bond, it's different in a way. It's almost the same thing, but it's different because you can use a logbook or a title deed, so that's bond. And a third party has to be involved. So some assurity, I think people have had surety. Surety is someone who makes sure that you come to court, and if you don't go to court, asipokupata uzime simu, ndiye ataarestiwa.
That's the real meaning of ride or die.
Ride or die.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're ride or die.
Something else that is so important to talk about is how obvious people think law is, or justice, or whatever. Like on social media, even in the States or here, when something happens and it was recorded on video, on our phones or whatever, and people are like, why is this guy not behind bars? Na tuliona video akifanya hivi na hivi. So is it us who are simplifying it too much, or what's the reason behind you having proof and the police keep saying we're investigating? Because the common wananchi is like, investigating what? This thing is on my phone.
Yeah,
I can see it. He did it. He done. You know. So why is that? Why does it take so long?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you remember the first thing we talked about, justice. So it's different for different people. But the concept of justice has so many other principles underlying it. So there's a concept of fair trial and a right to be heard. So everyone has a right to be heard. There's a principle of a fair trial, and you're innocent until you're proven guilty.
That's on BS. But
no, it's not BS. Until you're in it, you will understand. Because would you want, as Milan or me as Roselyne, that someone suspects that I did something, or someone saw me doing something, and then everyone will come and burn me alive because I did it, without being heard, without saying, you know what, no, I am not the one who did this, or I did this because of this, you know. So that is what justice entails. There are so many principles underlying justice, and that's why even if we saw what was done, even if there's a video about it, you cannot just say this person will go to prison or this person will be
banned. beaten,
whatever people want him to be like whatever people want
with him.
There's a process, there's a procedure, and that's what we call the social, that there's a social contract people entered into. Everyone in the world entered into a social contract to be governed by laws. And the law says that you have to go through a process, and that's a fair trial. So when this person went to court, that means he had to plead guilty or not guilty. And then he had the option of going out and going about his business by being availed bail, because bail is a constitutional right. And you as the people, you have so much power. You have so much power to push for causes. And that's exactly, I think, what's happening in America. You have the power to push for causes to be recognized and to be taken seriously. Because sometimes there's so many things happening, like there's so many things happening in the justice system. There's so many cases being handled that if you don't show that this is important and we want this prosecuted, we want this handled in the expeditiously, in the most the fastest way possible, then sometimes it might be with the rest. But if the justice system and the actors see that there's public interest in it, and that's why some cases are covered on TV and some are not, because of public interest, because the public is interested in this issue. And that also influences the actors to make sure that they make, one, a good decision, two, faster decisions.
Okay.
So it's just work, they're just working, like the judge is working, the DPP is working, like everyone is at work. So don't villainize them. Just make sure that just make sure you do your part, send the petitions if they're there, read, get some information, get some knowledge where you can, because that's the only way you can make a change. If you're educated, if you know, okay, what am I talking about? We want to bash the government, we want to bash the judiciary, but okay, are there processes there? Why is he out and about? Why was he granted bail? Just educate yourself, like know why things happen, because they don't just happen. Like, it wasn't just released. There are so many other things involved. And that's, and the decision lies with the judge or the magistrate. So that's the decision they made, and there were reasons why they made it. Maybe there was no compelling reason why he should not be granted bail, and he was granted bail. So the people are just working.
It's a normal working day for them, just like you.
And I know the emotions involved with the public, and that's why the public should make sure that decisions are made properly. Make them understand that this is serious, like this is an issue we're interested in.
I like how you answer that in terms of what I asked before. What, as me, Roselyne Kabata, being so small, can I do? And I like that you say we are so powerful. Even in the awareness we spread, whether we have 400 followers on Instagram, just bringing that into the light and broadening that scale of people just talking about it also pushes. That force is felt. As big as the judiciary is, they feel that force of every page is covering this story. People are talking and we need to do something about it, so that we just table it off, So that has been.
You are powerful. You are powerful.
Amen. So I think, thank you so much for joining. I feel like the whole law thing, I'll be hosting you a bunch of times, because this is not something you can just sit and talk. There's so many cases we need to talk about. You working with the kids, there's a lot. That I attended a webinar that you invited me, and you guys, it was splendid. I even wonder what we watch as Kenyans, because I was like, this is the thing we need to be, but I am really encouraged by the fact that we can be acknowledged and we can be heard. And I also thank God that you are a resource that I can reach. I mean, so like I can call the DPP and ask questions, but you're here, and I feel it was very important for me to do this video. It was very honoring for you to attend and to come and be hosted by your sister. And yes, so I hope you guys learned a thing or two, and I hope we can do better and we can do more in just educating and enlarging our bandwidth of knowledge in terms of this, and in terms of more. It's not just law, it's not just this one case, it's
there are many
array of things that we can just educate ourselves. So yes, it has been yours truly, Roselyne Kabata, and my lovely sister, Roselyne Kabata. Can you see this metallic thing? My sister is extra bougie. So thank you so much. Cheers to you. I hope there's going to be much more improvement, and cheers to more conversations on my channel. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for having
Subscribe, like, share this video, and you'll be seeing my sister a lot now. From the Kabatas, cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.